In Jackpots. I'm Adam C. I am here in Fort Erie, and there's going to be a battle today. We're going to check it out. We're going to check out all the reenactors. They're living here for 2 days. So let's turn this camera around and go take a look. All right. Let's take a look around. Hopefully the rain holds out. Hopefully the live stream holds out. I think this is my first time live streaming in Fort Erie, so we shall see, and hopefully the sound is good. Hopefully I'm live, because it did say there was an error. It looks like I'm live. I see one person. Who is that? Hello. We are in Fort Erie.
And buddy I was talking to
Checking it out. What time is it? It is 12:30, and at 1 o'clock they will have a cannon show. So we'll be checking that out. Got to watch out when I'm walking around. I don't want to trip on any of these tent poles. Got some leather goods here. Hopefully it's not on members only. It's like we have stepped back in time. It's quiet now too, eh?
Oh yeah, maybe. This wind fire too.
I don't know if you guys can see all the tents ahead. That's where they've been staying. They sleep out here in on the battlefield. I'm hoping the bands start playing again. They were playing earlier, which was pretty cool. I feel like only members can chat. Just... check it out. It's like a tent city out there. And we got 1812 recruiting right there. I'm not going to go get recruited. It's funny, you see all the tents. Hello, Ramp Rat. How's it going? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. We are in Fort Erie. We are at Fort Erie. No? We're going to be checking out a battle soon. So thanks for being here. We got 30 minutes until we get the artillery show. That'll be at 1 o'clock. Sky is looking a bit cloudy, but the weather it's not too bad. The breeze is nice though. There's a nice breeze. Look at that. All the soldiers just hanging out. Sorry about zooming in so far. And they got fires going. What I'm interested in seeing is when the soldiers line up right along this street here. Well, it's actually not a street, it's more of a parking lot. How you doing, Ramp Rat? Hopefully you're doing amazing. You know, they got a little fire going. Making some tea. Just hanging out, eating lunch. Hopefully no buffering going on. It's gotta be a little weird when you're trying to eat lunch and people are walking around taking pictures of you.
Well, that's part of it, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is true. It's very quiet in the chat.
Hello, ex-Ramprat. Who's in the chat? Say hi. Adam's feeling a little bit lonely. Say
There's Lisa.
hello. Hello.
Hello. We'll go down and check out the cannons.
Yeah.
It should be, well, I got about a half hour before they set up. I like the smell of the campfire.
It's the smell of winter, though, eh?
Kinda, yeah. Hello.
Dirtweed, hi.
Dirtweed, hello. Good to see ya.
Mind you, don't trip over the fence.
Yeah, I gotta watch out for these the pegs in the ground here. And hopefully no buffering. We don't want any buffering. But I am in Fort Erie by the lake in a field, so it could very well happen. This is what they're going to be firing off soon. Let's zoom out a little bit there. Can't wait for this to start. And hopefully the signal holds up. They're getting ready, eh? Hello, Tyler. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, Jeep. There's a Jeep there with a lot of ducks. And those are 1812 outhouses, in case you guys were wondering. So they're getting ready to roll out.
You'll be temporary commander because she's got to do that for demo. I can do you wanted me to command?
Where do they do that?
Out in the field. I did decide to wear the mic today because it is a bit windy out here. Windy and muggy. Let me know if I'm buffering, guys, so I know if I gotta move positions. It's so funny. It's like so quiet, but you just hear little flutes playing once in a while.
I wonder if it was that quiet back in the day, you know, just before the battle. I wonder if it was that quiet and
I feel like
eerie and
people would be rowdy. Like they'd be, yeah, let's go.
Can you imagine, like, there was no cars back in the day, was there? There was no structures. It was just their tents and their artillery.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it was just like sitting there just waiting for...
Just being all nervous and anxious.
Yeah.
If you guys look, I'm going to zoom in over across there. You can see that's the Americans over yonder. Whoa, sorry about that. That's the Americans over there. But we are not hanging with the Americans. We are hanging with the British, including Lisa. There's their camp over there. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Oh, that breeze is so nice. There's already a cannon out there. Oh, they're over there, a couple of them.
So where do they bring them through? Up the road or?
I don't know. Maybe over there. And then bring them over. Hello, First Lass. Good to see you. We are waiting for a battle here between the British and the US. But first, these cannons up there. No, that's not me playing the music. I do hear it though. I don't see where the guy is playing the flute. I feel like he might be in the fort. Derek, hello. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. We are just waiting. All these guys up here by the cannon are going to march out in about 25 minutes. We'll take a little walk through here. Dave in Bangor, Maine, hello. Welcome to the live stream. I do have a mic on, so you might not be able to hear Lisa. Lisa's right there. We have just stepped back in time to 1812. As you can see, we are in Tent City right now. I still can't believe that the reenactors sleep in these for the weekend. Maybe we'll catch them going out to the field. They look like they're almost ready to go. I don't know if you guys remember, I did a video here last year. Last year it was so sunny and hot that my phone stopped working. This year it's cloudy, a bit of a breeze, but it is pretty humid. And I figured I'd try a live stream and just hope that the signal holds out. Hello, Madano. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. It was quiet in here at first. I thought I was doing a members only live stream, but Lisa checked and it turns out everybody can chat, which is awesome. There's the fort over there. Any of you guys ever been to Fort Erie? Not the city, but the actual fort? So we will have, at 1 o'clock will be the artillery demonstration. And then, I'm not sure how long that lasts. And then at 2 o'clock is the actual battle reenactment. And in between that is when the soldiers line up and march to the field, which is awesome. I am live in a fort. Well, I'm not in the fort right now, Derek, but later I think we will go into the fort. I don't know. I would imagine I could live stream in the fort. Lisa and I have never actually been in the fort, which is kind of strange for myself since I've lived here all my life, but I've never been in Fort Erie, in the actual fort. I have been in Fort George. How is the sound, guys? Does it sound all right? I got my microphone on. I'm surprised you can actually hear the flute. Take a little walk down here. Check out the back. Perfect, Madano. Thank you for letting me know. I was just trying to cut down on the wind by wearing the mic. Really, Scotty, you never been in the fort either, right? It's kind of weird, like being here for so long and never actually been in the fort. I gotta watch out for these tent poles. I don't want to be tripping. We got 21 people watching. Thank you guys all for joining this live stream. I'm gonna be live for a little bit. I may need to unplug the mic later and plug in the phone to the charger. Hello, Tim Rowland. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining. We're just waiting on the cannons to roll out. Once the cannons roll out to the field, we will be set for the artillery demonstration. Again, if you guys notice me buffering, just let me know. I will walk quicker to get out of the buffering zone. Look at that. There's a soldier's jacket just hanging there. Can you imagine living like this? I feel like these tents would be so hot. The sound of the flute is kind of relaxing. They're getting ready. Lisa's talking to one of the reenactors. She's loving this. For the master roll, what is the master roll, Tim? I think we're going to try and stay all day. Like we're gonna watch the reenactment, and then I think we're probably gonna go for a bit after that, and then come back for like the nighttime battle. I feel like I'm spying on the British standing over here. Waiting for these guys to march out. Thank you guys all for joining. I do appreciate it. There goes CHCH News. The Pipe and Drum Corps muster roll. Is that what you're going to be here for? I think that's probably when is that when they march out to the field? I am not sure, to be honest, Tim. I am not a fountain of information today. That's hilarious. The soldier over there was carrying the video camera. It was like the past meeting the future. And I do see Lisa over there. She's there. Let's zoom in. Oh, I can't zoom in. How do I zoom in on this guy? Oh, he's not holding it anymore. And I can see where they're walking. I should just stand by the guy from the news. Hello, Christine. Welcome to the live stream. We're at Fort Erie, obviously. And I don't know if listening to the live stream will be as exciting because you're just going to hear gunshots soon. Hopefully they start moving soon because it does take a little while for them to get out to the field. The one thing that is awesome though is when the band lines up and the soldiers line up to go to the actual reenactment at 2 o'clock. I imagine they'll be lining up at about 1:30. Travel with Lisa MH will also have a video from today. I'm not sure when that will be out, but she's doing her own video. I'm doing the live stream. It is 12:43. They're supposed to be doing this at 1, so they're probably going to be starting to move soon. Does it still look all right, guys? I'm just kind of standing in one spot. I don't hear the flute anymore. That's hilarious. Christine, are you headed to the Peach Festival? Oh, I hear people yelling. I feel like if I was going to war, I'd be very, very hyped up. I would never like to go to war. There's a soldier walking across the field over there wearing the green coat. You can see how gray the sky is. Hopefully the weather holds out for you on the other coast, Christine. Probably be busy at the Peach Festival today, I'm assuming. Unless it's raining, which hopefully it holds off. All right, Christine, drive safe. Enjoy your time at the Peach Festival. It is 12:45. They got about 15 minutes before they start firing off those cannons out in the field. And it looks like there's still quite a few seats over there, so Hello, Flo. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, we are at Fort Erie, in Fort Erie. There's going to be a battle reenactment at 2 o'clock. At 1 o'clock will be an artillery demonstration, which are these guys over here. Sorry for swinging you guys around so much. I think they're probably going to be on the move soon.
I will entertain.
It's always awesome to see the cannons. Make sure you guys don't have earbuds in or headphones on when they start firing the cannons. I don't need anyone watching my live stream and getting busted eardrums. That would not be good. After they do the artillery demonstration, I will take you guys on a walk around and we'll check out more of the campsites. For the people that are just joining, it's funny. Lisa's getting all the interviews. Lisa's getting interviews with the reenactors. So make sure you guys stick around for Lisa's video, which will probably be out in a couple days. Sail and Cook George, hello, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining. We're in Fort Erie, just waiting for the artillery demonstration. I hear an airplane. On the drive here, it was pretty cool. There was some jet boats in the river, which was pretty awesome. There's a helicopter following them. I don't know if there was like a race or something, like a jet boat race, but it was pretty cool to see. And now we are here. Just waiting for them to make their way to the field. That's a good question, George. I know those are authentic 1812 porta potties. Authentic. I think they're actually used in the war. Got 10 minutes. Maybe they walk quick. Maybe they'll wait right till 1 o'clock. I do not know, but I think I got a good spot just to watch them walk, and then we shall head over to the actual field where they will be. So I apologize for just standing around at the moment. Try to give you guys a little view of the field. That is old school living right there in those tents. Old school. Ooh, that breeze is picking up. It's funny when somebody talks, everybody goes quiet. They're making sure everybody knows what their role is. George, it's too bad we weren't at Fort George today. That would be awesome. Got 20 people in the house. Thank you guys for being here. Much appreciated. Wait till you guys see the luxury tent. They have like, this tent here actually looks pretty nice, but they have a tent up front where I think the generals get to sleep, and those tents actually have bedrooms in them. They have separate rooms in some of these tents. These ones I feel are just for the regular soldiers. I could be wrong. I'm just happy so far. Knock on wood, the rain has held off. You guys didn't see me knock on wood, but I gave my noggin a knock. Maybe after too. Maybe we'll head over to the American side of the field. Fife and Drum and Muster and Soldiers Field, August 16th and 17th. Oh, that's What's the date today? That's next weekend. Where is that? Oh, that's at Fort George. That one's at Fort George, I believe. I feel like yesterday I was in Niagara on the Lake, and I think I saw that on the sign outside of Fort George. Next week, I will be up north with Lisa. We are going to a friend I know. I've known him for a long time. I haven't seen him for a long time, but I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. Not a sneak peek, but I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. He's a Titanic collector, and he has his own museum in his house. So we're going to be going to see some Titanic artifacts. So keep that a secret, guys. All 22 of you. What time we got? We got 12:51. 9 minutes. Let's get this going. Everybody's getting restless. And before long, before you know it, there'll be a battle on the field. You guys see Lisa over there? Yes, Tim. Yes, that's the one. That's the one I remember seeing yesterday. We went to, well, we didn't go to Fort George. We went to Niagara on the Lake yesterday. Went to check out the Peach Festival. These people are fighting. No fighting. Let's get this show on the road. I don't know what this skirmish is all about over here. You guys see them? Oh, he took them down. What is going on over there? We need a... Oh, there's the general. You're making them kiss and make up. Oh, here we go.
Number 6.
I think we're about to get moving.
I would have thought. You.
All right, let's go, let's go.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I hear somebody yelling. Can you guys hear them yelling? Even though I have my mic on? Because I want you guys to be able to experience the sounds as well. I just don't know if you can with me wearing the mic.
Do not hit him. You would silence me. I'm not worried about this guy. No. A couple of those bigger ones. Yes. Oh. Yes. Even up all the way. You're going to stop before the rope, and then we'll drop the rope on the line.
Once these guys all go through, then we'll head over to the field.
Do we have a couple? So your other hand then?
Then yeah, I think after that, I will take the mic off and plug in my battery pack. Tim, I haven't been to Fort Niagara. I've never been to Fort Niagara, to be honest. I need to get over there. I've seen, I actually seen, what was it? Ghost Hunters. They were at Fort Niagara one time over in Lewiston, but I have not been there.
Artillery! Following the road! Forward! March! And march!
There they go, off to the battlefield.
Maintain 5 meters spacing. 15 feet if you're old fast.
Right. go out to the field.
Left shoulders forward. Come on that outside rope.
Left shoulder, forward.
Follow the cannon in front of you.
Let her run.
Come on that rope.
Right wheel.
Arch.
All right, there they go. Let's go out to the field. This is a spot. Let me know if I buffer, guys, because we are heading out. Just not sure where I should stand. And see, yeah, out here it's more windy out here. I forget where they stand.
More there.
How is it? Still look good, guys, or what?
Yeah, I'm just going up the audio channel for the
I will zoom in once they get into position.
No?
Hello, Grateful Falls. Good to see you. Welcome. Thank you. Connection is still good. That's what I like to hear. I was a little worried about it out here. As you can hear the bag behind me, eh?
You coming by? No. I got it. Oh, my goodness.
This might be a pretty good spot for the battle, too. I know, right? Dirtweed, that's what I heard, too. It's right behind me.
I'm wondering, I'm not the field right now for the cannon demo. Okay, I just want to get the American line and the walking class.
Is the bag still loud?
Will they march or they just stay there?
Ah, Grateful Falls. Thank you, though. Thank you. We all got to work. We all got to work. Thank you for catching it, though. Now, if I believe this is
there, right?
pretty quick.
American are there, right? So I wonder if they will approach each other, right? Like, because the stand is there.
I think they just start on one side and work their way down.
Okay. Right now already. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's already under. We should try to take it back. Yeah. Before
Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, yeah, it's always good to get off early. Always. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear the soldiers, but you will hear the gunshots or the cannons. Check 1, 2. Oh, I'm also right beside the microphone, or right beside the speaker. I might have to move. If they do uncover a Dirtweed, it's going to be loud because I'm right beside it, so we shall see. Oh, here he
Well,
comes.
good afternoon, everyone,
Oh,
and welcome to the
that is loud.
41st annual Siege of Fort Erie. If you can believe that.
I'm gonna move
41
away.
years they've been doing this. Exactly. Thank you for braving the weather and coming out. Hopefully the weather gods will be favorable for the
Had to
rest
move
of the
away a
day.
bit.
So what we're going to do is our artillery demonstration. I believe we have several guns in the field right now. I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cannons. Wow, that's a good showing. I think we have everything from 3-pounders to 6-pounders on the battlefield today. So these are all British artillery. So this is the British side. And if you look on the field, You'll probably see a bunch of soldiers in blue. You're probably thinking, well, the British wear red, not blue. Why are they wearing blue? Well, in the British system, military system, during the War of 1812, the artillery.
Hello, Sooner John. Welcome to the live stream.
They were in a separate branch called a Board of Ordnance, and as such, they wore blue coats instead of red coats. Unfortunately for the war, though, the Americans were almost the exact same uniform. They also wore blue coats with red cuffs and collars and gold lace, just like their counterparts. Few slight differences, but that was it. So you want to make sure your cannons are pretty far back if the red coats get turned around and don't know which way they're going. They might shoot at their own guys. But usually they're pretty far back.
Yeah, Charlie, that's me out there. I'm the one right there.
Because of the war of
right on the
Napoleon,
right.
the British
Good to see you,
send
Charlie.
too many troops over here. So they only sent a few companies of the Royal Artillery over. And as such, they had to form militia artillery. So you look on there, you'll see a few soldiers in red. And they make up of militia companies. These are local farmers and merchants who were trained by the Royal Artillery on how to load and fire cannons. Now I'll let you know when they're going to get ready to fire. When they do fire, just let you know these things are very loud. So when I give you the cue, you may want to plug your ears because the game get quite spicy, especially on a day like today where it's humid. But I'll let you know. So right now they're just going through a drill to make sure they're all good to go and all safe. And then they'll be ready to go.
You guys ready to see some cannons? It's looking clear. I can't even see my screen barely, but hopefully it's looking good for you guys. Charlie, you're not out there, are you? Yes, Lisa is right there. Sorry for the zoom in. I've zoomed into these guys, so I probably should have zoomed out a bit. There we go. Don't be silly, Charlie. You know Lisa's not on the American side. Hopefully the lights don't go out, John. I don't know who's going first here.
So just let you know, folks, they're going to do a few run-throughs first. They got to make sure they're nice and safe, because as you can imagine, with cannons, you got to be very, very safe. You are doing this for a show, so you don't want anybody losing any limbs, as it were. Now, they do fire blank. They don't fire actual ball, but they are still very, very dangerous. So they're going to do a bit of drill first, and probably go 10, 15 minutes or so. Then they'll get ready to actually fire.
Did you guys get that? I'm still gonna stand here though. I don't want to lose my spot. John, what would you do with a cannon?
Which crew do you have this? Do you want the civilians on the left? Or the two leafies? The second one? Another stripe. We've got the black coats. We've got the red coats. And team fell into a little pivot. Over my shoulders.
I'm glad I got this spot. I was going to stand back, but
Here. Want to stand right there? Mine were much the same. You're shy. We were all shy at that age.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nope. Nope. For 30 years, I carried a musket, and I did what they did. Yep. And then I had to reinvent the hobby for myself, so I picked up a cannon.
let's zoom out here a bit. We'll zoom in once they go. There is Lisa.
So, Mom, there is cannons.
Yeah, I didn't know.
So no, Lisa is not on the American side. But if you look over this way, the tent's over there. That's the Americans over there. That's the Americans over there. And that's the British. Hopefully how's the mic holding up? Doesn't sound too windy, does it?
What you want to do is listen for prime and load, prick and prime, prepare to fire, fire, and a nanosecond after fire.
As soon as you hear fire, cover your lips.
And open your mouth. Equalizes the pressure in your head.
Actually?
Oh,
So what you should do is basically
Zoom in
cup your
here.
ears and do this.
Not right now.
When I took my artillery training, they didn't tell me that. I caught the
there's a soldier over there.
It rings.
No wind? Perfect, Charlie.
Ever been punched in the head where it rings it?
Crazy block.
Yeah. Concussion is very serious.
Yeah, that's what you're hoping.
Or you can go stand with Are they stuck on the hand?
Yes.
Fire?
Gotta try and see who's firing first out here.
Open your mouth. When you eat and open your mouth. Why? Because then you won't hear. Jack,
Very
when
much
you eat and open your mouth.
Not yet.
That's a good question, John.
Yeah. When they say
I believe Canada did because we are still Canada.
the second they say fire,
If we lost.
open your mouth, okay?
So what they're doing right now, folks, is they're practicing drill with artillery as opposed to the soldiers who musket drill. They are cannon quickly on a battlefield with a much easier.
The wind blowing my signal or what?
It's even faster, but they have no horses.
Am I back?
Two types. There's grape shot.
Hopefully I'm back.
Canister shot, like a big shot.
I feel like I could move, but
Kind of close range. Yeah. Yeah. And then they would have solid cannon.
of course that's how it goes, right? They're just about to start and I start buffering.
No,
So the
it's
colonel is
fused,
stuck on the
so
field to
the
act as a
gunners
target.
also- The gunners are so well trained that they can sit there and go, okay, 500 yards, I need
Is it still buffering, guys?
that long.
When are they going to say fire? I don't know.
Mission was unstable. Okay, hopefully I am back.
Hello. No, Ken, not yet, not yet. I will go and tell you that. When I say okay, then you
I appear to be back until the wind blows, and then it blows my signal out again. Hopefully not.
just have to
They hadn't cleaned the barrel. They had waited.
On and off. Ah,
So right now what they're doing is we call it a slow run through. So they're walking through it step by step to make sure everyone is on the same page and they all know what they're doing. On an actual battle, they're moving much faster at 50 pounds or guess.
The worst one.
Are we cheering for the red one or the black? Are we going for red or black?
This is just a demonstration.
Okay. They're all British.
Oh, they're all British.
The guys in blue are Royal Artillery. The guys in red are Lincoln Militia that have been trained as artillery.
Are they real?
What?
Oh,
Nope. You know how
Like I
you
said
when your
earlier,
friends
we have a
like to play
couple of
road
different
hockey and
sized
do
cannons
stuff?
on the field right
This is a
now.
hobby for us.
Most of them are 3-pounders. Now, what we mean by that, obviously the cannon doesn't weigh 3 pounds. That's silly. A cannon does
Good now?
by the
Good?
size of round that's fired out of it. So a 3-pound cannon, the cannonball in it would be 3 pounds. And 6-pounders, 9-pounders, 12-pounders, 24-pounders, all the way up.
I need a camera that can just strap to my chest.
Now, out of artillery.
It's not bad when I walk around because at least I'm.
A canister shot. So if the enemy was getting close, you could switch from a solid ball to canister, and they had heavy canister and light canister, and all it was essentially a tin can filled with a whole bunch of iron-sized golf balls. Right, is pretty much what it was, and it turned essentially a cannon into a very big shotgun. If they got closer, you could then switch to grape shot, which was a bag or a tin can it could be, with smaller balls in it to make a much bigger spread when you fired it. As the enemy got closer and closer, you'd switch what you were firing depending on the situation.
Can you guys hear the announcer? Oh, that's what you're talking about, John. Sorry.
By the Siege of Fort Erie, they actually had a new kind of shot invented by a man. His name was Henry Shrapnel. And he invented what's called spherical case shot, which essentially is what you see in Hollywood movies where the cannon fires, then it hits something and blows up. Prior to 1812, that's completely Hollywood fiction. However, by this time period, they did have exploding cannonballs.
Okay, perfect. Because he's the one full of information, not me. I should have just told you guys I'm the commenter. I just changed my voice. I hope they come back up here a bit for the display. They're pretty far away now. That's correct. Henry Shrapnel. I remember hearing that story last year about Henry Shrapnel. It's kind of ironic. I wonder. I think did he say they named him after? Did they name Shrapnel after Henry Shrapnel? Try saying shrapnel 10 times.
Another secret weapon the British had during the War of 1812, toward the end, was invented by a man named William Congreve, and he invented the Congreve rocket. He made a lot of destruction, but the problem with the Congreve rockets is they were kind of hard to aim. And if you were firing into the wind, sometimes they had a habit of firing off, turning around, and coming right back at you. So it was kind of a new invention during the time, but it wreaked psychological havoc on the enemy, where this was a brand new thing, and they actually whistled like bottle rockets did. So for those who had never experienced Congreve rockets before, and you heard these shrieking things coming at you through the air, it played havoc with morale of the enemy troops.
That is right, Medano.
So now it looks like they're going to go through a loading procedure. Again, this is a dry run to make sure.
Susan Shrapnel.
Explain a bit about how to load a cannon. You need about 5 crew on a cannon.
Which one are they loading here?
You have it. I'll tell you all their names. At the back of the cannon, you have the Bentsman. Then to the right of the gun, you have the sponge rammer. To the left of the gun, you had the worm. Then you had the powder monkey. And he was the very back of the gun.
Powder monkey?
And then you'd have the detachment commander overseeing the gun.
A monkey? I don't want to be a monkey.
So the first command would be to check the vents. The vents near the back of the cannon will pull out a metal, it's called a vent prick. So basically it's a big, looks like a big knitting needle. It's just a big metal, just a piece of metal needle, I guess. And it would go down the back of the hole, little hole at the back of the cannon to make sure it was all clean. And then they put their thumb on that hole to create suction.
We're gonna go.
You that wedding.
So practice right now the fire procedures. So at this point, the cannons would be loaded. I don't believe they are right now. They're just doing a training exercise. You see them raising the sponge rammer up in the air. That means the cannon's fired or loaded.
I don't know. Aria, I don't know.
Oh.
My apologies.
What kind of announcer is
They
that?
told me it was a dry run.
That was a lot.
I think they
Oh,
lied.
they are going to fire again? Yes, excellent round of applause for reenactors who come
It's pretty smoky.
to be with here this weekend.
That's farts now.
You get to shoot stuff.
I was not expecting all of them to go off at once.
So now they're cleaning the gun.
They're cleaning it.
Once it's clean, they wait a few minutes just to make sure everything is that was supposed to blow up did blow up. Now in battle, you wouldn't wait. We give it about a 5-minute wait just to be safe, because we aren't firing for real.
How's your hearing, guys? Your hearing all right?
As safe as we can.
Get closer. They're just cleaning it.
Oh, fire! I heard fire. Clear.
So while we're waiting, like I was saying, the first command would be to check vents. The vents, we're going to put that vent prick down the touch hole to make sure it's clean. And then the next command is to worm the piece, at which point the worm, which is the person standing to the left of the gun, has essentially a stick with a corkscrew on the end. And that will go down the barrel and make sure that everything that was supposed to blow up did, and make sure it's done. Bags when you put it
Oh, they're
in.
moving up.
So you want to make sure that no cloth is sitting down there. Anything that was down there and pull it out. The next command will be to sponge the piece. So the person standing to the right of the gun has essentially on one end a big Q-tip, essentially is what it is. And they soak that in water.
All the babies are coming in.
The ventsman would put his thumb on top of the vent hole, and that creates suction. So when you pull the sponge out, it would create a vacuum, which would also extinguish anything still burning down there.
I hope you guys
And
stick
also
around
take
for the
any
actual
remnants of
battle.
Anything left on the barrel out as well. The next command would be to advance cartridge, where the powder monkey, standing at the back of the gun, would bring forward the round. The powder and the ball would all come together. You would hand it to the worm, standing to the left of the gun. The next command would be to load piece. So they would then put the round down the barrel, ever so gently. After it's inside, flip that Q-tip around. The other side was basically a wooden round block. All the way down the barrel, down the vent hole, excuse me.
Well, you'll be awake, Grateful Falls, once they fire.
So field guns and guns
Let's
in
see.
the on land
I don't trust this
didn't have what you
announcer.
see in Hollywood, where it was like a fuse, where you touch the flame to it and it goes boom and go off. It was very instantaneous. So in the command to be prepared to
Hello,
fire,
Nuke Rose. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. We're just waiting for these cannons to go off, and then we're going to watch a battle at about 2 o'clock.
And when you lit it, it burned much like a cigarette. It had a little.
Hopefully the
red heater on
buffering
the
is
end
not
that
too
burned very
bad.
slowly, and you touch that onto
we going?
the straw full of gunpowder, and that would set off the cannon. Like I said, it was almost instantaneous.
Yeah, Nuke, we will be
So I
there.
believe they're getting
Lisa
ready
and
to
I
fire again.
and
see the,
Mark Davis. We'll be bringing Mark and
the
Marlene
signal.
with us. Are you going to the barbecue too?
Look, ears open.
All right,
Oh,
so
here we
ready to
go.
fire again. If you don't like loud noises, you may want to plug your ears. Here we go.
Plug your ears, guys.
It's gonna happen again.
I don't know which one's going off. Over here behind the tree, I think.
Well, it's okay. You don't have to.
What happens if we don't?
Nothing.
It's
I
not that
don't.
loud. What does it sound like? The same thing.
We have 2 more.
Okay, ready? 2 more.
You just have to blink and then it's done.
You just have to blink.
Well, how loud is it though? Not that loud. It's the same loud when you plug your ears. That's the honest.
Ready?
Theirs isn't going off.
Oh, got a malfunction over there.
Did we dead?
Whoa. That one was super loud.
That's the 6-pounder, the one at the end there, that's the big gun. One more time, just a few minutes here.
No,
Oh,
but
one
this
more
one,
time?
the big one, I saw fly over the
You'll
mountain.
notice that when the command came to fire, it took a little bit. Much like the muskets, these are very weather dependent. The firing system is all on the outside of the weapon, just like a musket is. So weather dependent, moist, so there could be a bit of a delay.
He said that was the 6-pound one, but not yet.
Oh,
So we got to clear. I don't know who's going to fire.
the loud one?
Trying to see which of the people are leaned over covering their ears.
I'm not afraid about it.
Drew, can you hear me? Yes, sir.
There's some guy out there in a regular. There's a regular guy out there. What's he doing? Get that guy off the battlefield. What is going on? Are they not doing another one? Oh, was it, John? I don't know. I lost track. Said there was another one, but
They're going to fire one.
I'm making a raccoon.
I do hear them yelling. Oh, do you, Nuke? That's awesome. The War of 1812 was like everywhere, it seems like. I thought it was just in the Niagara region, but yeah, it's up in Hamilton, Windsor, and even in Washington.
Do you guys want to go for a little walk?
You guys want to go see what's...
I feel like they're leaving.
Let's go see.
Yeah.
We're gonna go check out this other stuff.
I don't know if that the
Battle,
commentator.
though,
What's he saying?
artillery could get off 2 to 4 rounds a minute, actually, moving quickly. If they're well trained, you can believe that. The Prussians were actually getting 6 to 7 shots off a minute, but they were skipping some safety steps. And they would actually have
I might
gunners
move
lined
down
up
there.
behind the cannon, so when an accident did happen, and
Go
someone
see what's up. Oh, I gotta zoom
they
out.
could have someone else step in quickly. But
I guess
you could
there's
get off
only
4
the
rounds a
lines
minute if
of
you had
one
to.
more.
Yeah, let's go down the grass.
I don't know. They go to the.
So now I believe they're getting set up for location for the 2. At 1:45, we'll have the Crown Forces Fife and Drum Corps. We'll take the field and put on a bit of a performance, kind of a
Go see them
pre-show,
line
as
up.
it were, for our 2 o'clock tactical. So at
Right.
2 o'clock on this very field, we're having our first major battle of the weekend, which is in honor of
Which is
Chippewa and Lundy.
35 minutes. Let's go check out the soldiers. I might unhook the mic, plug in my charger.
That's out that cannon.
I love it.
9-pounder.
I love it.
Whoa, you imagine that battlefield?
A bunch of those going off.
Wow. That is just nuts.
That is pretty crazy. Let's walk through by the tents, and then we'll go to the main street. Well, not street, still a parking lot, but we can catch the soldiers setting up. Was it the fife and drums? Is that what that thing is? It's not a flute, it's a fife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then yeah, maybe over here I'll unhook the mic.
Who's in the chat? Hello, everybody.
Nuke Rose, Ramp Rat, Medano.
Hi, Madano, Necros.
There's a bunch
hello.
of people.
I said hello to ex Rampret.
Well, of course they're going to fire one more round. Sooner John.
Hi, John.
Flo was here earlier.
Hello, Flo.
She might be here now still. Grateful Falls.
Who? I can't see you moving.
Oh, I gotta stop.
Grateful Falls. Hello.
Charlie.
Hello, Charlie.
I feel safe. I got the British with me. I got you with me. Although we should be careful if we go to the American side.
Well, we're not going to the Americans.
We're not going to go check out the American tents? Oh, there's Flo. Flo's back here.
Hello, Flo.
Hello, Flo. Let's, oh, I hear bagpipes. Oh, look at guys, you can see them getting ready over here. Pretty awesome. And then they're going to line up here. Last year they marched down here. Whoa! That just scared the crap out of me. Yeah, I hope there's some bagpipes.
So they march up down here, yeah?
Yeah, down this street and then up that way.
So I'm going to go over there.
But you guys see them down here when they line up because it's pretty awesome. Oh, they got tents over here too. And here I thought they were done. I know he said there was going to be one more, but I don't trust that commentator. That sound louder. I'm going to unplug my mic. Can you hang on to this for a second, Lisa? I'm going to put my mic away. Plug in my charger. Oh.
Oh, what?
I just hear somebody yelling. Can you guys hear me still? Because I put away the mic. I hope the sound didn't just completely shut off.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing.
Because I think that happened to me before. I unplugged the mic and then the sound shut off. Anybody?
Charles has said testing.
Okay.
Yes. Grateful Falls says yes.
Great. Get my cable out here. Oh, there's soldiers walking across the field over there.
Soldiers everywhere, Adam.
Well, yeah, there is.
You know, it's they're preparing for battle.
All right. I think I'm ready.
So loud.
Oh. Thank you. All right. Testing, testing. I'm gonna hold on to this so it doesn't screw up the gimbal. They're gonna bring the, oh no, the cannons they're gonna keep out there. Hello, Thomas C. Good to see ya. Welcome to the live stream. We are here in Fort Erie at the battle reenactment. There's Lisa. Thomas C says hello. Thomas C. Oh. There she is waving. Soldiers are going to be coming out. Well, hopefully you can hear. I did unplug the mic because I had to plug in my phone to charge, so. And when the battle starts, hopefully you guys can hear. Hopefully it's not too windy though when we get out there by the field. What do you guys think? Is this pretty cool or what? But What I think is pretty neat is you see the soldiers, but then right across the street you see houses. The battle will be in 30 minutes. All you can smell is campfire, because they have all their fires burning. We'll come back to that section in a little bit. Trying to make this interesting for you guys, so we're not just standing around one section. Also got to watch where I'm walking, because these tent poles. They're over there getting their muskets ready. I could go for some bangers and mash right now. Definitely. Oh yeah, they're all getting ready. Look at this. Pretty cool, eh? Hello.
Had he not found his brother neglecting what no Englishman should neglect, justice and humanity.
Look at that. We are in the middle of the action here. See, he's got the fancy tent. I cannot imagine getting ready for battle. You guys enjoying this? I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's something different. My first time attending this was last year, and I had such a great time. It was awesome. And the battle at Fort George was last weekend, which I missed. Well, this is, Thomas, this is today and tomorrow. I believe they set up last night. They stayed the night last night. I could be wrong. But yeah, this is today and tomorrow. There will be another reenactment tomorrow. There's the one at 2 o'clock today. Then there's the one, I believe it's inside the fort tonight at 8 o'clock. And then again tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I feel like there's more reenactors this year, because over there they got the tents. Last year they didn't have tents over there. Last year they just had tents set up over here where I'm walking. I should be getting ready for battle soon. Yeah, I'm not gonna camp with them tonight. You know what the weather's gonna be like? Like, I can't even imagine how hot these tents are. Plus, I forgot to bring my uniform. Left my uniform at home. starting to come out. And the sun's starting to come out too. Here's the important guys. Well, I mean, they're all important, but... no horses, John. No horses. That would be cool though if they had horses. I'm gonna hide behind this tree. Hello, Ontario bully. Hope you're not a bully. I will probably not be here. No, tomorrow I will not be here. We have plans tomorrow, so I might have to come and stand down here a little bit. Sorry for swinging you guys around so much. I thought they were going to march down here. Maybe they're not. Because last year they lined up all along here and then marched to the battlefield. Maybe they're not this year. I guess we'll find out. Oh, here comes some over here too. Maybe they do line up over here. Oh, and I hear bagpipes. What's Lisa doing with that guy? Yeah, they must line up down here now.
Left shoulders forward.
All right, I guess we go that way. We should just follow the soldiers. They would know where they're going. But it's tight down here. Should I march with them? I think they would notice. They would probably notice. Oh, they're going in there. Oh yeah, let's go. Maybe in there, Lisa. Let's cross. That's what I thought. That's what they did last year. I don't know. I'm gonna go over here and see what's going over here. Lisa wants to march with them, yeah. I know, she's like, don't go over that way. So I gotta figure out where they're going. So maybe they switched positions this year. I hear the bagpipes. Yeah, look at them all getting ready. I have a feeling this is where you want to be. Must have changed it from last year. Madonna says you want to march with them.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know why this is so zoomed in.
I did march in my previous job,
You did?
so I can march.
I can pretend to march.
Myself and a fellow called Fred Fischel, who's a member of our group. I did all the research of the Naval Museum, got plans, drew them up. Fred did.
I hope they come this way.
Design, he did all the actual.
Dude does marches. There's no dude does marches today. It's looking good, guys. Looking good. See, last year they did this on that paved area, so maybe they moved it over here so it was more realistic. Signal is good. Perfect. Thank you, Madonna. I don't know why the band is over there.
Last week I was down near Kingston at a memorial where there was a plaque laying for the officer from our original unit.
I did that March Charles too.
And I took the colours down.
I know you guys are busy standing, yeah.
I hope I get a good spot here.
Okay, everybody look mean and tough.
Everybody look mean and tough.
Remember, you've been reenacting for 50 years and you hate this hobby, but it's still coming.
Did you guys hear that? Wow, one guy's been doing this for 45 years. There we go. Hope I'm in a good spot.
I almost went for a tumble with it.
Or go stand over here a little bit. Watch out for the fence posts. Nice wet grass. So the band is out there. Just the soldiers just getting ready. The soldiers? Probably up here, I'm assuming, but I don't know. Like I said, they did it different last year. Got the important guys right here, eh? It's the big cheese right there. Okay. Go. I love that. I'm gonna get their muskets already.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, Flo, the uniforms are pretty awesome. These are the British uniforms. I believe the Americans wore the blue. It's getting loud over here.
So yeah, this so I think they're making it up as got it.
This is like my favorite right here. No, I did get taken out by a sword here. There they go, off to battle. they go. Well, let's go find a good spot to stand. Because in 7 minutes, it'll be time for the reenactment. Which I feel now, maybe I should have found a spot over here. Because it is pretty crowded. Although I could maybe squat down. Well, the British are way back there, so maybe there is a spot around here. You guys still here? There they go out there.
You just need to cool off a bit.
Maybe I'll come over here. Back in the same position. It's windy out here. Let's see where Lisa went. Oh, this is following me. You guys see the Americans over there? That's the Americans over there. Fife and drums over here. You guys still here? The last chat that I see is Flo. Unless that's the case. That's the British way over there. Never seen it from this angle before. Present, sir. Thank you, good Charles. Good, sir. Look over here, you can see the British
Now,
coming
as
onto
we
the
know
field.
from history, Bonnie Prince Charlie didn't have his own way, and in fact, he met his comeuppance the following April, just outside of Inverness, at a place called Culloden. George Frederick Handel wrote a piece of music. George Frederick Handel, of course, being a classical musical person, wrote a tune to honor the great victory of the British Army during this period, and he wrote a piece called "See the Conquering Hero Comes," and now the group is going to play that for you now.
You can see how far away they are. Should be ready to go in about 4 minutes.
Rob, oh, that's a fine craftsmanship.
I want to zoom in, but I want it to be clear for you guys.
All them.
Waiting for the Americans to come onto the battlefield. I will turn the camera around when the Americans come onto the field.
Now we're going to take you to several decades later, and the British Army is not just fighting Highlanders who've gotten out of control, but now they're fighting the French, who have just finished the Great French Revolution. And the British Army spent quite a bit of time, mostly in the Iberian Peninsula, fighting the troops of Napoleon, and they ultimately developed a tune that was highly inspirational for those who want to see the downfall of the French, called "Downfall of Paris."
Thank you guys for checking in. I do appreciate it. We got Parks Commission people here coming around for change, but I unfortunately do not have any change. I should probably start carrying some change. I don't remember them being that far out last year. I could be wrong. And thank you guys so much for sticking around for, it's been an hour and a half so far. Thank you guys. I should do that, Charlie. That'd be hilarious. What is this? This is not going to help support the fort. I just noticed there's some soldiers out. Sorry for the wind, guys. The wind has just picked up. Some soldiers on the field. And maybe I could just drop a Niagara Falls pin in the change bucket. I do have some Niagara Falls pins. I smell French fries. And I'm hungry. It is now 2 o'clock. The battle is supposed to begin at 2. I should share my discount codes.
The drums are now going to exit the field to a tune that was often played by British military.
I don't know if they had French fries back in 1812,
and,
Thomas.
Regimental bands when they left a town called The Girl I Left Behind Me. Thank you very much for your attention. We hope we've given you some idea of the kind of music that would have been played during the War of 1812, even at this site. We hope you enjoy the afternoon.
I gotta be careful about that. They're coming out this way? Oh, they are too. They're coming this way.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for the Drum Crown Forces there. Now, if you think what they're doing is interesting, there is a way that you can get involved. After the battle, find them in camp and have a chat with them. They're always looking for eager volunteers who know how to hold a beat and march on step. And if you join up with them, they travel all over doing all sorts of events and reenactments. In fact, for the 200th of Waterloo, They went all the way over with our big Canadian contingent, and according to friends of mine who were in the British forces, they said as the Canadians marched in with the fifes and drums blaring, heads were poking out of tents as everybody couldn't believe what they were hearing and were shocked by it. So they put on a great show, but you got to be good to be a part of them. We're going to be getting underway with the battle in just a moment. This afternoon battle is representing the battles of Chippewa and Lundy's Lane. So for a little bit of lead up to it, on July 3rd of 1814, American forces crossed and landed on either side of Fort Erie, a little bit further down about where Erie Beach is, and a little bit further north about where the Peace Bridge is, and surrounded the fort. The British had less than 150 men defending the fort. The Americans had over 3,000, so the battle was a very short one. It was one cannon shot before they surrendered the fort and the Americans occupied it. Immediately afterwards, they left a small force behind and marched north, encamping along Usher's Creek, just south of the village of Chippewa. While they were encamped there, they celebrated, the 4th of July was celebrated, and on July the 5th, British forces out of Chippewa began to move down and began to skirmish with them in their camp, beginning the Battle of Chippewa.
So there might be some cameras swinging around here trying to keep track of the US and the British. Hope you guys don't get dizzy, because everybody's pretty far away.
Yeah, it's cute.
Right now what we're looking at is the American soldiers, which is funny because they said that there was way more American soldiers than there was Canadian. Oh, swinging around. Take cover.
So the opening phases of the Battle of Chippewa were small skirmishes as British and Canadian light troops, supported by Indigenous allies, began to fire over the creek towards the American encampment. The American commander, held by the name of General Brown, did not care for this, and ordered led by Peter Buell Porter, for any Buffalonians, that's whom Porter Avenue is named after, to lead his militia and Indigenous allies into the woods to clear out the enemy, which led to brutal bushfighting back and forth through the woods. These initial troops you're seeing on the field are examples of light troops, soldiers that are trained to scout, skirmish, and spread out on the battlefield to just pick away at the enemy. Light troops could rarely win a battle, but they were very good at scouting for the enemy and weakening the enemy force.
Charles said you could be Laura Secord and go warn the British.
Hey, guys.
Now, as the main American force comes out onto the battlefield, you notice a variety of different uniforms being worn. Traditionally, the American Army was supposed to be wearing blue, but they ran into supply issues getting a hold of blue dye. That is a natural result of declaring war on your blue dye supplier. Enough so that by 1814, the cost of blue dye was 15 times what its pre-war cost was. So you saw a variety of uniforms. You saw twill or beige uniforms, like you see the light troops out here. You saw some of the blue. You saw black, green, but you also saw a lot of gray being worn, which you see troops marching out now. At Chippewa, about a third of the American force were wearing these gray coats, which were actually work jackets that would have been issued to the soldiers. And when the men were initially told they would be wearing them as their combat dress, they were not happy. When you join the Army, one of the reasons is to get a snappy looking uniform, and these are stable jackets. But those men in gray proved themselves to be one tough cookie out on the battlefield, and the gray coat would become immortalized at battles like Chippewa and Lundy's Lane. Now across the field from them you see some of the Canadian forces and the British forces not wearing the traditional red. The 19th Light Dragoons are the ones that have the fur-crested helmets called Tarleton helmets, and they're wearing blue. As a royal regiment, they were allowed to wear blue uniforms. And you're also going to see the 2nd York Militia in their green uniforms. Due to the cost, not every militiaman could receive a nice, red coat, so they kind of had to make do with whatever they had available, and green cloth was in plentiful supply and was sent out to equip the men.
I don't remember them being this close last year.
Organised chaos.
It is organized chaos.
Now, as the soldiers are firing, you're going to notice every once in a while their muskets go click instead of bang. That is no fault of the soldiers themselves. That is the technology of the time period. Flintlock muskets rely on a piece of flint striking against a piece of steel, creating sparks that land in a side dish called the pan. It is all exposed to the elements, and in that condition, a gust of wind can affect it. So wind, rain, humidity, anything can affect it. With the heavy rain we had earlier today, this is a credit to the soldiers and the reenactors on the field, how well they are doing getting these muskets to work. Now, in good conditions, a musket will misfire on average about 1 in 5 times, so about 20%. You add those other adverse weather conditions, these weapons can quickly become sticks instead of firearms. Now, another issue with these firearms is most of them are smooth bore, meaning there's no rifling groove down the barrel, and that means accuracy is not that great on them. A well-trained soldier at about 60 to 80 yards could aim and hit an enemy if he was a good shot. However, past that, good luck. At 200 yards, your margin of error is going to be as much as 18 feet in any direction. So how on earth do you get a weapon that doesn't like to work all the time and you can't really aim with to be effective? Well, you saw it earlier, the volley. Firing en masse is going to deal with those problems. Because if somebody misfires, there's enough people firing that there's enough lead going across the battlefield, aiming is no longer necessary. But you're now seeing the other problem. Black powder produces smoke. We've got a good breeze, so it's carrying it away quickly, but you can see how much smoke that these muskets create out on the battlefield. You can imagine a battlefield like Chippewa or Lundy's Lane where there are thousands of soldiers and cannons going off. It did not take long for the field to become completely obscured in smoke, that infamous fog of war. In fact, at the Battle of Lundy's Lane, they were less than 15 paces apart at one point and could not see one another. The muzzle flashes were crossing in the air, they were so close. So one of the most common questions is, why are the British in bright red? That fog of war. Every army in the world was using the same technology, and they understood they need to be identified out on the battlefield. A bright and distinctive uniform will scream out to your friends, "Don't shoot me, I'm on your side." So the British, they're in red. The Americans traditionally are in blue. And as I mentioned, there's green coats, there's gray coats. What happens to those guys? Well, unfortunately, friendly fire was a huge problem during the war. The Glengarry Light Infantry, a regiment wearing green, gray, and black, which I believe there's a couple of them out on the battlefield, they, at the Battle of Lundy's Lane, took heavier losses from the British than from the Americans because they could not be identified in the smoke. And those gray-coated Americans, for almost 20 minutes, were being fired upon by both sides. So today, camouflage is great, but 200 years ago, as they would put it, it would make you a landowner. initial phases was fought in the woods, back and forth as the two sides pushed, with the Americans and their Indigenous allies eventually pushing the Canadians, the British, and their allies all the way back almost to the village of Chippewa, where as the Americans approached the edge of the woods, they were met by a harsh volley from the British forces who marched across the bridge and were going to meet the Americans out on the battlefield. As the British began to deploy, their artillery opened fire on Americans in gray, crossing over the bridge onto the battlefield, and it was at this point that there is an apocryphal story, take it with a grain of salt, that as the Americans were crossing under artillery fire, the British commander was shocked by their ability and remarked, "Those are regulars, by God." And to this day, "Regulars by God" is a motto in the United States Army.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. Oh, I see what you're saying. I got any mods here? Any mods can get rid of that guy.
Now, Chippewa became a watershed moment for the United States military because as the Americans deployed out on the battlefield, it became the first time in the war that they faced British regulars in equal numbers on an open battlefield. In just a straight-up musket slugging competition out on the battlefield, they bashed away at each other until finally the British could handle no more and they were forced to retreat. This was a huge victory for the Americans. It would actually mark the first time American troops met British in equal numbers on an open battlefield ever. Not even George Washington could do it and beat them. The gray coat was entered into the American legend of their military, and to this day, it is still worn. If you visit West Point Military Academy, the cadets do not wear blue, they wear gray. And Chippewa is just one of the reasons why. The other, it's cheaper.
Medano, you here still?
Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
I should ask, we got any good, loyal Canadians in the crowd? Give a cheer.
Yeah!
Well, you will be very pleased to know that on the battlefield today, there is a reenacting unit that is representing a unit that historically was 100% Canadian. Even their officers were Canadian, so feel free to give them a cheer if you'd like. All right, I'll point them out to you. So they're fighting for the Americans. If you look at the far end of the American line, there are gray-coated soldiers with green hat bands. These are soldiers of the Canadian Volunteers. The Canadian Volunteers were dissatisfied Canadians who in 1813 joined up with the Americans and formed their own unit. About 150 Canadians fought within the unit, and their commanding officer was actually a member of the legislature for Newark. So if you think you got problems with your MPs today, but good news, their commander, Joseph Wilcox, he got what every Canadian trader should get, and that is a grave in Buffalo. In 1814, he was killed during the Siege of Fort Erie, leading a skirmish against Canadian and British forces. Victory after the Battle of Chippewa, they marched north all the way to Queenston Heights, while the British withdrew back to the protection of Forts Niagara and George, where they hunkered down. Now, the Americans believed that the naval forces on the lake would come and support them, and so they waited on the heights, looking out towards the lake, hoping that they would spot those sails. Unknown to them, the American commander of the fleet, a fellow by the name of Chauncey, was absolutely refusing to move out under fear that another raid could be launched against his main base. After waiting for over 2 weeks, the Americans decided to withdraw back to their camp in Chippewa. As they were withdrawing, though, the British followed behind, harassing them, and the Americans sent one of their brigades, those famous Greycoats under Winfield Scott, to reconnoiter the enemy in force. And they met them on an open field along an old farmer's lane, a lane called Lundy's Lane. Now, the opening phase of Lundy's Lane was that brigade basically standing about 450, 500 yards away from the British line and refusing to withdraw. Winfield Scott was a very proud commander, and after the victory at Chippewa, he refused to back down from the enemy without seriously engaging them. In fact, he had a personal mantra that he believed you could not withdraw with honor without losing at least a third of your men. And so he stood, taking British artillery fire, slowly whittling down his ranks. One of his commanders, a man by the name of Major Henry Leavenworth, whom Fort Leavenworth is named after, approached him and asked if his regiment could withdraw. Winfield Scott replied, "You know my standards, Major." And Leavenworth replied, "I have met and exceeded them." Leavenworth would be denied. His regiment would take heavy losses. In fact, they would lose 14 standard bearers carrying their colors out on the field. There was no 15th because the staff shattered in 2 locations.
Thank you.
Now you notice some of the Americans here, right in front of where I'm standing, right by the tent here, you notice they're tapping away at their flints. If you are having trouble firing, this is one of the ways that you can fix the problem. It's called napping. You tap away at the edge, it breaks away pieces, and it gives you a fresh new edge, so you'll hopefully get a much better spark. If you've ever heard the term, "don't get caught napping," that is where that comes from. If you are napping your flint, your opponent knows you do not have a working musket. Don't get caught napping. Now, as night began to approach at Lundy's Lane, the Americans still stood under enemy fire. But as the night set in, American reinforcements arrived, and they launched an attack on the fringe, attacking the British flank, and then, in the dark, charging up the heights, catching the British off guard. They successfully captured the British guns and the heights. As more British reinforcements poured in, their commander, General Drummond, whom the hill is named after, turned to his men and demanded that they retake the guns. This would lead to hours of fighting deep in the dark, as the British would launch multiple charges up the hill, and at close range they would be blasting away at one another. The fighting at Lundy's Lane was by far some of the bloodiest and most brutal fighting out on any Canadian battlefield. And by the time the battle was done, about 1 out of every 3 men who set foot on the battlefield had been killed, wounded, or captured.
Open fire.
All the people on the field.
These guys are still shooting over here.
Now I'll point out as well, if you look at the far end of the American line now, you see men in a variety of outfits. These are men of the militia. A militia service in Canada, the United States, was required of all able-bodied men. They were required to serve anywhere from a few days to a few months service. In fact, some could be recruited for as long as a year, during which time they would receive some training and some equipment. The one thing that was often lacking for them was uniforms. Since every single able-bodied male in your country was in it, that's a heck of a lot of uniforms to have on ready. So militia would try to build up uniforms based on similar coats that they had or similar styles, and sometimes they would even purchase large quantities of cloth so that their militia company could take the cloth cloth home and make uniforms out of it.
She's like, hi guys, love everything.
That's a good question, Thomas. I feel like maybe they don't have a choice. There's a lot of ones playing dead.
I would be remiss if I didn't point as well, amongst the British and Canadian lines, you may have noticed some gray-coated soldiers with furry caps. These are Le Canadien Voltigeurs. This was a fencible regiment. It was like a regular regiment raised in Canada, and they were raised out of Quebec. When the war broke out, there were many in Canada who worried if Les Québécois would remain loyal to the British. But if I may paraphrase a Québécois gentleman at the time, we do not love our father king, but we hate brother Jonathan more.
Where'd you get that one? Oh wait, she caught a guy. She caught a guy by name. They're so close, right?
Now, Lundy's Lane ended in confusion. In the heavy fighting and the smoke and the darkness, neither side was able to really tell where the enemy was. After the final British charge, many of the Americans believed, after a long pause, the enemy had withdrawn. And with heavy casualties, including the Senior General Brown being wounded, the interim commander, a fellow by the name of Eleazar Wellick Ripley, he made the decision to withdraw to preserve his force. He withdrew, and in the smoke and the darkness, the British advanced, just as the Americans had vacated the heights and taken as many guns as they could. And seeing the abandoned equipment, they believed that the enemy had retreated. Both sides left the field claiming victory. But the British, believing the Americans could come back, actually built barricades out of horse carcasses to prepare in case the enemy returned. Come the morning, the number of dead on the field was so high, and with the heat, they could not bury them all. They were forced to burn the bodies in huge funeral pyres.
The Americans are basically...
Yeah, I don't think I could lay that still for that long. Oh, here comes the Americans again.
Now, as the battle is concluding, I mentioned about Lundy's Lane, how they treated the battlefield. It was not uncommon in the aftermath of a battle for officers to treat with one another, which means to hold discussions over how the field would be treated, how the wounded would be treated, prisoners. A lot of times prisoners would receive what was known as parole, in which they would be allowed to return home under promise that they would no longer serve until formally exchanged. This was a win-win because not only did these men get to go home, but it also meant that you did not have to pay to feed and take care of all of these prisoners that were now in your that you've taken.
The night reenactment.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as the battle has wound down, it is a tradition amongst the reenactors as lovers of history. We understand the ground we walk on has been walked before. Where we do these things, the people that we represent were here. This is an actual battlefield, and it is a tradition amongst the reenacting community that we recognize them after engagements with the playing of a lament. So during the playing of the lament, I ask, if possible, remove your caps and please observe silence. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for all of the reenactors. They have come from all over, traveling near and far, and braving our weather to come out here and represent history in their own unique way. Now, if what you're seeing out here looks interesting and it looks like something you might enjoy doing, the easiest way to find out more information is to ask. As you go through the camps, feel free to ask questions, comment on some of the things, find out some more information. I know that Ray's over at the recruiter tent over by Sutler's Row. He's a great guy to talk to. Talk to some of the Americans too. They're friendly chaps. As you're going about, though, one key thing to remember, we are living in those tents. So since that is where we are living, I don't barge through your front door, don't barge through ours.
All right.
Let's be honest, there are some
How is
you
that?
don't want to take home with you. We'll also ask that you just wait a little bit for us to clear the field before you cross.
My feet are killing me. I think that's it, guys. You guys saw the artillery demonstration, the reenactment, the camps. It's been 2 hours and 6 minutes. That's a long live stream for me. All you kept thinking was make love, not war. That was a war that had to happen, I guess. I don't know. Well, I guess it didn't have to happen. No wars have to happen.
How poignant was that at the end, though? I got quite emotional when they were playing the lament.
It's kind of emotional.
People died here, you know. It's
well, yeah.
real.
Well, I know.
Pretend
like,
at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. Seeing the bodies on the ground.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Thank you, Charlie. I'm going to turn this camera around. We're going to say bye. There I am. I don't know where Lisa is again. Oh, there she is. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for joining us for 2 hours and 7 minutes. It has been a fun afternoon. The sun is out. I will see you guys later. Lisa will see you guys later. She's going to have a video, so make sure you subscribe to Travel with Lisa MH. And that's it. Adam C for Hidden Jackpots. Ciao.
See ya.
You guys on YouTube?
Yes.